Ken here, your thrifty apprentice. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Today's video, we are going to be doing some unboxing. We're going to be unboxing two different products. I'm going to be swatching one of them, as well as doing a painting demo with one, and the other I'm going to just be panning because it needs a day or two to dry out before I actually swatch it and get around to using that one in a painting demo in another video. So what are we doing? We are unboxing and looking at Rowney Aquafine. This is the travel set, 12 half pans inside, and we are also unboxing and looking at the Shinhan Premium PWC extra fine artist watercolors. I am really excited about this particular set. Now, if you have been following me for a while, you know that I have already used, unboxed, used, tested, and reviewed the Shinhan Professional watercolors. It was the 18 tube set. I think this was a really good set, and of course the heater kicks in right when I start this video, but I'm going to keep going because I want to get this done. I've already reviewed this set, and I actually like this set. I gave this set a really decent review. I'll try to remember to link the review if I can remember. And this is actually more of their student grade set. Now, it is classified as a professional watercolor paint. Well, by name anyway. They do call it Shinhan Professional. Here, let me just show you guys. I'm just showing this really quick. If you've used this set, then you'll know what I mean. There's some really bright saturated colors. This is a really nice palette to use. I actually need to use it more because I do mention it often. It's just that I have so many things that I'm testing and reviewing that sometimes some things get lost in the hustle and the bustle. But so yeah, that is, although it's professional or labeled professional, that's more of their student grade, whereas this is more of their professional grade paint. So I'm really excited to get to that. I'm going to be panning those paints in this Creative Mark 42 well little plastic palette that I picked up from Jerry's Autorama. I've had it for a while. I wasn't sure what I was going to pan in it because it is a studio palette. It's big. I'm not going to really be able to sit it on screen to paint with it unless I'm painting really small compositions. So more than likely, whenever I use it, it'll be sitting on a table to the side of me based on the way my setup is done. So, but this is what we're going to be panning those in. So, you know, let's move this to the side. We'll do that in just a moment. Let's get to this one first. So here we have Rowney travel set. This is Aquafine watercolor. Let's see, 12 time half pan, 1 paintbrush. Flip it over on the back here. We're gonna have a color swatching, which gives you the color number, the color name, in several different languages. Of course, we are gonna swatch them out as always suggested and recommended. And I will be swatching them out in my Canson XL mixed media book. This is what I swatch all of my student grade paints in. So Roller Company, United Kingdom, gives a phone number, delaroney.com. Let's see, AP seal of approval conforms to ASTM 4236. No health labeling required. Contents may vary, which I tell you guys, I really appreciate when companies let you know that. Colors made in the UK, assembled in the Dominican Republic. So the paints are made in the United Kingdom and everything is put together in DR. Really cool, really cool. So let's slide this off here, and we have plastic. Let's see. Let's grab a knife here right quick. Get that open. And let's see, Rowney. Now this is reminiscent of a lot of little palettes This is very reminiscent of the Lucas Studio palette. And this is the Lucas palette. And Lucas Studio is the student grade brand, student grade line for the Lucas Aquarelle 1862 paint. So these are both student grade, two bigger, more popular brands of paints, which Lucas is an interesting paint. It's pretty, but it's not bright and punchy. It's not one that really just fascinates me, but I think they paint out really, really well, and they're definitely usable. But I did actually like the Lucas Studio palette. I think these colors are, I guess because they're in this more student grade range, they're a little bit more opaque, maybe because they have more fillers in them or what have you. But yeah, I really actually like using this little palette. And this palette is it's actually the same exact palette, like seriously. I know the paints are made by different companies, and I doubt if Rowney is outsourcing Lucas or Lucas outsourcing to Rowney, but they ordered these palettes that are produced in mass quantity from a manufacturer to fit their half pans or to fit their paints into. They both had the same idea with these little travel brushes in it. This says Aquafine number 4, and here in the Lucas it says Lucas number 4. So these are basically the exact same palette with just different company paints in it. So it just goes to show you how even the legacy companies kind of play off of each other's ideas. Okay, so half pans of paint. Of course, they're machine cut. It looks like they may be glued in because it's wiggling around a little bit. From the looks of it right off the top, the paints are very sort of bright looking. I'm going to be expecting some opacifiers and fillers in here, but the half pans are full. I can't get one of those paint chips out, but they're all full. They seem to be consistent full across all 12 colors. As you can see, those half pans were removed from the palette. On the side of the half pan, you're going to get Aquafine. It gives the color number, the color name. It gives the pigment number. Wonderful, wonderful. So we do have pigment numbers and names for each of the paints, which Rowney is pretty much a legacy company. So, you know, it is. I was expecting that from them. Yes, I'm just looking here. I guess I could check. It doesn't have the pigment numbers here, but the color range is Chinese white, lemon yellow, gamboge hue, cadmium red hue, alizarin crimson, cobalt blue hue, ultramarine blue, hooker's green, deep yellow ochre, raw sienna, burnt sienna, and Payne's gray. I'm actually kind of excited about this palette. The color selection anyway. I'm not sure how the formulation of the paints are going to be in comparison to, and you know, I think in the Van Gogh video, I mentioned that I was going to do a comparison. I'm going to throw Lucas Studio in that comparison as well. And if I'm not mistaken, this is the exact same color range. Almost, anyway. Not quite, but almost. You get one green here. You get hooker's green. Here you have an olive green. I was just comparing the color selections from here to here. So yeah, that's it feels very familiar. Very familiar. So this is very straightforward. I'm going to swatch these out, and then these are the ones that will actually do a painting demo. But before I do that, I want to open the PWC paints. We're going to take a look at the tubes. We are going to take a look at the consistency, pan them up. Now, none of this is a review. All of this is just an unboxing of these products. Let's go ahead and pop this big bad boy open. I am really excited about these paints. And getting to see what they're all about. I've heard some really good things about them. I actually haven't heard anything bad about them. Maybe I just haven't run across one of those written reviews or videos as of yet. But I actually love the Shinhan Professional, so I really feel enthusiastic about trying out this line. Okay, so the Shinhan Premium PWC Extra Fine Artist Watercolors, which is how they are marketed in the United States. If I'm not mistaken, they are marketed as the SWC across seas, same paint, just different branding for two different regions of the world. On the plastic, they did let you know that this particular range has 104 colors, although there's 32 in the box, which is why I chose the 42 wheel palette, just in case I decide I really like them and want to order some more open stock to add to this and kind of make them grow. Which, if they're anything close to the Mission Gold paints, then that's probably going to happen. And even this little swatch gives you the color number and the color name, although it's a digitized swatch. A master expression of superior quality and expertise, PWC Extra Fine Watercolors are professional. Or for professional, excuse me. And it says the same thing here. There's the AP seal of approval, conforms to ASTM 4236. There's the CL stamp of approval, conforms to it says same thing, conforms to 4236. Okay, 32 colors. That writing was really small, which is why I was hesitating. I wanted to make sure I was reading everything. Check the side of the box. It's letting you know 15 milliliter tubes, 32 colors. Okay, on this side we have Shinhan Art Material Company. Lets you know that the office is in Seoul, Korea. Factory is also in Korea because they do make their own paints, and the paints are made in Korea by Shinhan Art Material Company, all rights reserved. And here you have a website, and here you get an address for the office and an address for the factory, which is really cool. All right, so no information is on the back. I really like that red box. The box itself is pretty hefty, some thick cardboard. You can tell it's meant to protect the tubes. Okay, on the inside here we have a pamphlet. Says the same thing as the front of the box. Inside are some really beautiful color chips. It looks like the complete range of paints here. So yeah, you get a color swatching of the complete range of paints, so you can see other colors that you may be interested in. This pamphlet is giving color number, color names, light fast information, pigment information, transparency information, and what is the lettering for? There is a key at the bottom here, which will let you know what all of the little symbols are for, and I'm trying to see. Okay, and then it gives the series that they come from. So that's what the lettering is. Really cool. Really cool. All right, let's see here. Over here we have label information that describes all the information on the label for their tube, which is really cool. They break it down and make it easy for you to understand the information that they're presenting on their product. Then there's a product description. I will not read through all of this. It's PWC Extra Fine Watercolor for discerning professionals. The pigments used for PWC have been carefully selected with the science of optics, delivering colors that will maintain their brightness and clarity over time. Cobalt and Cadmium Series PWC Extra Fine Watercolors are highly light fast through the selection and use of only inorganic pigments that are resistant to fading from exposure to light, temperature variations, and acidity. Okay. Degree of light fastness and performance. Testing instrumental in the field of color preservation science. The fadometer has been used to conduct discoloration tests on all Shinhan colors. The degree of light fastness is displayed on the labels. The light fastness is also tested according to the ASTM standard D5067. ASTM light fast ratings are listed in composition and performance table. Yes, indeed. So they provide you with all of the information. Pigments, international classification numbers of pigments are given. Well, the pamphlet itself is a lot to explore. I mean, seriously. It gives a comprehensive breakdown of all the information of each single paint. I am going to have so much fun looking through that to talk about in the review. Yes, I am. All right, so let's move on. Don't want this to be too carried out too long. Let's take a look at one of the tubes. Here you have a 15 milliliter tube, which is pretty thick, pretty big, pretty non-standard. I mean, 10 to 12. But these are some pretty nice sized tubes. They are aluminum. They have a screw off top. Yeah. Quick access to the paint. Company name information, all of the other information that was included, light fast, transparency, series, color number, color name, breakdown of the color name into different languages. On the back of the tube, you're going to get color number, color name, the AP stamp of approval, pigments, and shinhanarts.com, the UPC code. Now I know you can purchase these open stock as well as in sets. And you can purchase them open stock on Amazon. I've seen the tubes. I've seen them open stock through Jerry's. If I'm not mistaken, I've seen them open. No, was it Blick? Jerry's or Blick? One of the other. I can't remember, but it's one of the two. So you know, there's ready access to both sets and individual tubes. If as throughout testing these and getting to the review, you decide you like them. And I decide I want to add some. So there you go. There you have those tubes. That's what it looks like. I'm going to start to pan these, and then we're going to put them to the side, and then we'll move into swatching the Aquafine. And then finally we'll wrap up with doing a quick demo with the Aquafine so I can go ahead and start to test those. I have finished the panning process, just a few notes. So the paints were pretty consistent. There was a little bit of binder separation in 3 of them. The PB 27, which is Prussian blue, the PR 101 mixed with PBK 11, which is sepia, and the fiber red, which I believe is PR 254. Yes, PR 254. Now I panned them all up, and let me see if I can kind of angle this here so you can see it. I wrote the pigment numbers for each of them along the outside of my palette so that as these run out, I can refill them, or if I should decide to refill them with another brand, I can make sure I'm using the same pigment numbers or colors with the same pigments to go back in those same spots. And that's actually a tip that I picked up from Lindsay the Frugal Crafter. So I've placed all of the tubes back in the box in the order in which I laid them out in my palette, just in case. But again, I have the pigment numbers listed, so I'm going to know what colors they are. So now I'm going to sit these to the side so that they can take a day, maybe 2 days to dry out. And then at that point, I'm going to swatch them as well as do some painting with them. For the rest of this video, however, we are going to swatch the Rowney 12 half pan Aquafine 12 half pan set. I'm going to be swatching it in my big swatch book. I'm going to swatch them on a card for light fast testing, and then I'm also going to swatch a little card to go inside this palette. So I'm going to get set up for all of that, and then we're going to jump into swatching these. At this point, all of my swatching is done. I've made a swatch sheet for inside my little palette. I've made a swatching strip with pigment numbers and color names on it for light fast testing. I have swatched them out as well as put glazing layers on them in this really cute light bulb swatching layout. I'm going to do some color mixing up here a little bit later on, probably off camera, but you'll definitely get to see that once we get to the review of these paints. And I've blocked off a little section of the paper here just to do a preliminary painting. Now, I normally do like silhouettes, but I think I'm gonna do like a little daytime painting, a little beach scene with some grass. It's gonna be really simple and straightforward. I just wanna kind of test out the flow, the mixability, whether they're gonna mix cleanly, how transparent they're gonna stay, how well they're gonna blend and carry across this, considering the fact that it's a mixed media paper. So I just kind of wanna get some of those preliminary tests. Of course, I'm gonna be using the paints a lot more before I get to the review, but we are gonna do a little quick, easy to follow along. You can grab whatever paints you have, watch the video through, rewind it, do it again, give it a go. So let's jump into it. So friends, I did initially start out doing a composition on the mixed media paper with the swatch sheet. I was doing it for a warm-up, sort of to get myself loose, but I'll be honest, I wasn't super satisfied with the way that it came out, so I figured I would do it over again, or should I say do a separate composition, and this is the one that I am painting with you guys. Now, this is the Maya Hemi 100% cotton watercolor paper. And of course, you guys know the paints that I'm using. I'm going to be using a couple of different brushes. I'm going to be using a number 4 round golden Teflon Creative Expressions, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to use a Maya Hemi detailing brush. I may use a number 6 round golden Teflon Creative Expression as well. But anyway, that is the products that are being used. You use whatever you have. If you guys decide to paint along or come back and paint. But I am going to actually cut out at this point. I'm going to let some music play in the background and finish this video on up with you guys. Please, 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 if you saw, heard, or felt anything in the video that you like, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Go ahead and hit the subscription button if you're new or returning and you haven't subscribed, the notification bell. Share, comment, check the video description for all relevant links. And remember, as I tell you, just keep painting and crafting.